Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021. We're in the final hour of the trading day, final hour to make my buying and selling decisions, because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they're dealing with the most money, they have very smart people, best information, best technology, and in that last hour, and particular in the last few minutes, they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithm. That's why you see the price at the end of the day move. I consider following what they are doing to be a smart move. I consider it to be a long-term edge in your trading. So thank you all for coming today. It's always nice to see everyone. I appreciate you making the time to be here. I hope that the time you're spending here, the time you're investing here, is paying some dividends for you as far as your trading and your investing. So currently the Dow is up 586 points, up 1.94%, big day up. NASDAQ is up 239 points, up 1.79%, and the S&P is up 67 points, up 1.78%. So we've had two big days in a row, and I think it has a lot to do with GameStop, AMC, these heavily shorted names that the large financial institutions were really getting beat up on. I think it has a lot to do with those going down significantly in price and freeing up some of their liquidity to be able to buy back into the large cap. Just my opinion. I don't know if that's true, but that's my thought on it, and I'm sticking with it. All right. Here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a couple day trades today, one winners, one losers, but the winner was larger than the loser, and that's really all that matters. I'll show you those. After that, we are going to go over and take a look at your current positions. I see a lot of green over there today, so that will be fun to take a look and see how all of you are doing. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. I do this because I just hope that if I talk about trader psychology each day in different ways every day, that one day, maybe one of the discussions that I have with you will really hit home and kind of resonate with you. And that's kind of how it works with me. I'll hear the same thing, but then I'll hear it one way and I'll go, oh yeah, that's right. So it is the most important part of trading. It's the most important skill you can develop. Trust me, it really is. You can be the best trader. You can have the best plan in the world. But if you can't follow your plan, it's all for naught. So that's why I like to spend a few minutes and invest some time in discussing that with all of you. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I do have three requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First, I want to see a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Number two, I want to see a good risk to reward ratio based upon valid and strong support below you and valid and likely resistance above you, so that you can calibrate your numbers to see if the 2-to-1 risk to reward is there. And then number three, always remember at the end of each day or whenever you're going to buy a stock, just always have a little quiet time and think, do I really need this? Do I honestly really need this new position? Do I already have 3 tech stocks? Do I really need another? How correlated are these positions? Is it a great trade and I'm not too correlated? Then great. Then maybe take it, right? But if it's just a trade, take a trade, and you're already highly correlated in the other areas, then, there's nothing wrong with not taking a trade each day. There really is, unless you have something that really jumps off the screen at you and is a good, legitimate trade. All right. And then keep in mind how much account heat you have, even if every single one of your positions is uncorrelated. But honestly, there's no such thing, because all your shorts can go up and all your longs can go down, even if they're not correlated whatsoever. So please remember that. And then lastly, volatility has picked up. Always a good idea to calibrate and determine your position size based upon what the current volatility in the market's doing. So when the market volatility is lower, you can add maybe some more shares. have a larger amount of shares. But if it's increased, you should decrease the amount of shares that you buy to compensate for the increase in the volatility. All right, so I'm going to go down through the end of day candidates. I do have a bunch of potential end of day candidates. I'll try to narrow it down, try to find the very, very best one, keeping in mind the 3 requirements that I just mentioned. And if I find something at the end of the day, I will purchase it right before the market closes. Okay. And then after the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, put them in the chat, put an asterisk by it or emoji so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if you have any new positions for me today, if you could please hold off until the end of the day before telling me about them. Then I'm done teaching and done doing my own trading, and then we'll have plenty of time to get them all taken care of. Okay, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll see you all in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look and see who is here today. Lava is here. Good to see you, Lava. Always nice to have you here. Lava says, listening to trading for a living for the second time. I'm getting a lot more out of it this time. I'm understanding better since I've attended these podcasts every day. I would imagine you would. We do talk about double bottoms, bullish divergences. Not a lot because they don't happen a lot, but that's the gist of that book. That's Dr. Alexander Elder's book. Very famous book. Great book. I learned a lot from that book, and I learned a lot from him because I did study with him. So good. Well, it's like any book. You always get more out of it the second and the third time, right, Lava? Kamal is here. Hey, bud. Good chatting with you today. Thank you for everything that you do for the channel. I appreciate it. I'm sure everyone else does as well. David is here. Hi, Greg and group. Hello, Mr. David. Good to see you, sir. Hope you are well. Miko is here. Good afternoon, Greg and all. Hello. Good to see you. Hope you and the family are well. Johnson is here. Good to see you. Steve, how you doing, Steve? Steve says the Wall Street Bets Reddit chasers had hurt today on silver game. Oh, yeah, silver too, and AMC. Absolutely right. Thank you, Steve, for coming today. Thank you for coming every day. I always appreciate it. It's always an honor to have you here, and I know everyone else feels the same way. But yeah, I was just talking about that at the beginning of the show, that a lot of these shorts are getting some relief today. Margin requirements and all that probably freed them up a little bit to buy back some of the large caps. Dan says, hi, Greg and everyone. I have been watching channel Steve Burns. I have been watching channel Steve Burns recommend some time back called Trader's Reality. Oh, I see. It's mainly Forex, but interesting psychology. Yeah, I would, psychology, whether you're trading stocks or futures or Forex or whatever you're trading is, I think it's all pretty much the same. So I'm sure there's a lot of overlap. Steve says, that's great. Dan Kamal says, nice entry on exit on the AGQ. Steve Burns, 100%. Time that just about perfect. I don't know if anybody's still in AGQ. I hope not. Gary is here. Hey, Greg and group. Gary, how you doing on your AMC puts? You have to be in the money on those, right? Because they're intrinsic at this point. But we'll look at those when we take a look at the positions. But nice going. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Frank. Good to see you, bud. Steve says, thanks, Kamal. Nasty whips on AGQ. Glad I followed my exit signal. 100%. Steve says, I will be exiting what's left of my SPY puts for a loss today and exiting PKI before earnings today as well. Okay, so PKI has earnings today. That's over on the That's over on the board. We'll take a look at that. Gary says, I had to exit my ANC put with a loss. Oh no. I wrote it from 20 down to 7 and still lost money. Oh my gosh. How's that even possible? Dan says, thanks to Greg, Steve, and Gossett's, I resisted buying SLV back today. In the past, I would have, but no Gossett signal. Thank you all. Oh, great. I'm so glad to hear that, Dan. Jatin says, hello, good afternoon, sir. The Dow is blasting. Also had bought Tesla yesterday at 840. Okay, remind me at the end, Jatin, okay? Bob is here. Good to see you, Bob. Hope you are doing well. David says, NVIDIA has a 520 crossover and above the 50 RSI. Is that a good crossover? Yes, I believe it is. Let me write NVIDIA down. Thank you for that. We'll take a look at that for sure. Jatin says, had a very clear opinion that day it's commodity controlled by economics cannot be shaken by some clan. Yeah, I think we all agreed on that. We didn't think silver could really be run up like GameStop. Steve says, yes, it is. That's what I thought. Zach, how you doing, Zach? Good to see you, buddy. Hello, Greg and friends. Steve says, Vega put crush on AMC puts, I suppose. I thought for sure you were doing well. I was telling Kamal about it earlier. All right, let's get to it. First on deck, I did buy a position yesterday, a half position, and Johnson also bought a half position, and Gary sold 290, 280 put spreads expiring March, getting $100, $190. I bought it yesterday. It was a good risk to reward ratio. It bounced off the 200 day. I bought it at 322.36. It's up 4.49% up to 336. So big day. I did hit 3 profit targets along the way. Looks like it is stuck pinned right at that 50 SMA above. And in addition, we're kind of up here resistance. I'm not going to sell this all today, but I am going to take half of this off. It's a big, huge day. We have Amazon earnings this afternoon. And so it makes sense to me. So again, I did hit 3 profit targets. So whatever I have left, so I did take off 30% of this position already. So I have 70% left. I'm going to take off half of the 70 that I have left. I just think it's the right thing to do. And if it keeps going up, then I still have some, right? But great trade. Congratulations, Johnson, and Gary's puts are doing well as well. SPY, overnight SPY trade. Of course, I bought this yesterday at the close at 376.23. Sold it this morning at the open at 379.68. So over $3 profit. The last 2 days have been great. Bought here, sold the open, bought here, sold the open. This wasn't so great. This was bought the open, bought the close, sold the open for loss. So big loser, big loser, big winner, big winner. That's how it goes. And then Gary also bought puts expiring the 375 puts expiring Friday. So it looks like Steve and Gary are going to be getting out of their puts on the SPY. So, all right. Let's get rid of that. And of course, as always, I will be buying the SPY today at the close, but nice little overnighter. USO broke out today, up 1.94% today. You all know the story on this stock. I bought this down here, up about 15.63%, but I did not take it on the weekly. I took it on the monthly bars. It was a deep dip buy on the monthly bars. The setup was an under 30, over 30, under the negative third Keltner channel, over the negative third Keltner channel, and a V2. But really nice trade. Really, really nice. So very happy with that one. Glad that I have a little bit of a long-termer in there as well. Lastly, we have Gary, Yas, Johan, Johnson with the half position, and myself with the half position. I bought 2 half positions yesterday. Bought this yesterday with this nice return to value, sideways motion, V2, kiss of the 5 and the 20 EMA. Bought this here at 381.53. It's up 2.4%. Sold it at 390.64. The profit target, at 390.64. The way that I trade these return to values, if this rejects the 50-day moving average today, or in other words, if it closes underneath, I will go ahead and just lock in half. You can see the last times it's been here, 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 here. Every time it's got up to that 50 EMA, 50 SMA, it has rejected it. Doesn't mean it's going to this time, but it did in the past. And so just use a little caution. If we close under 390.31, I will go ahead and sell half the position. If not, I'll keep the entire position. All right, day trades. Oh, I almost did it again, Kamal. This was not on a 5-minute. This was on a 25-minute. Okay, so speaking of Dr. Elder, speaking of trading for a living, this is a nice example of a double bottom with a bullish divergence. Here you have a low with red MACD bars. You rally into some green bars. Then you come lower, but even though this is lower than over here, there is no red bars. That is called the double bottom with the bullish divergence. That means this move down, the momentum as calculated by the MACD was stronger. That's why you have the red bars. We had a bit of a rally. We came back down. My entry signal was a false breakout from this low over here plus a V1. I bought it here at 54.40. 25 minutes later, 25-minute bars, 25 minutes later, I did take half my position off. Whenever I buy when I'm day trading and I get a nice big solid move up, I just automatically take half off. It works really well for me. So I sold half at 54.66, then another big bar up, and I just decided to take the whole position. I took the other half off at 54.93, and then it went higher, and I thought, well, that's what I get for doing it. And then now it's back down. So all in all, it was about the same deal. So in at 54.40, out at 54.66, out at 54.93. But that was a nice 50-minute trade. Really, really great one. And then lastly, I did have a day trade on Apple. It was a small losing trade right here. We had a move down to the 50-day moving average. We had some sideways motion. We triggered a V2. I bought it here intrabar at 135.70. Initially went up, was looking good, but then the next bar, the next 5-minute bar, boom, comes down, loses the 50. So I got in at 135.07 and I got out at 134.97. So I lost 10 cents on the trade, but not even close to, what we made or what I made on the Verizon trade. So that is about it. Not too shabby, right? Pretty good day all the way around. David says, did you run the disclaimer? I did. But thanks for double checking my work, Dave. I know Dave's a good double checker. Yes, I did. Yavar is here. Hello, good to see you. Nice to see you again. Hello, everyone. Kamal says, I do like the Tesla short here at 878 with the stop loss of 910. All right, well, let's take a look at old Tesla. Yeah, on the daily, I don't see an actual signal per se, but what I do see is I have highs over here with green MACD. We pull back to the value zone, we go red. We're not at the highs yet, but there is no green to be found in MACD negative here and the histogram negative here. So that would be a bit of an anticipatory trade. Anticipatory trades always pay off better, usually, because you're anticipating, so you get more move. What did Kamal say? 878, 910. So is 910 the high? It's a bit over the high. Interesting. Well, if you do anything, let me know, Kamal, for sure, okay? All right. Hey, Frank has a poem for us. This is going to be good. You know it's going to be good. I haven't read it, and I know it's going to be good because Frank's just that good. All right. Here we go. Who wants to be on the hot seat? A trade too risky reeks of defeat and is a surefire way to lose and get beat. So dump the baggage, risk is heat, look both ways before you cross Wall Street. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. Who wants to be on the hot seat? A trade too risky reeks of defeat and is a surefire way to lose and get beat. So dump that baggage, risk is heat, look both ways before you cross Wall Street. I cannot believe no one has ever mentioned that. That just seems so obvious now, right? About looking both ways before you cross Wall Street. Wow. Fantastic. Kamal says, I do not have cash in a margin account to short Tesla. Okay, well, that's probably good. Steve Burns says, Goldman Sachs has a slight 520 EMA crossover there. Let's look at Goldman Sachs. Oh, yeah, it does. So I need to add that to Goldman Sachs and that's not Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs and NVIDIA. All right, we better get to your positions because I can already tell I'm running short on time. All right, here we go. VIX. Is anyone still in VIX? Doesn't look like it, and I'm glad because it's down 8.56% today. All right, we're going to take that off the board. Amazon. Of course, Amazon has earnings today. Jatin bought Amazon yesterday at $32.94. He's already made over $100. Congratulations, Jatin. Looks like we got up into the high 60s, rejected the 38TR channel, but more importantly, earnings are after the bell. Coca-Cola, Timothy, Coca-Cola back here, bought at 48.52 with the bounce off the 200-day moving average. It's 49.05. It's up 1.18%, so very nice trade, Tim. Twitter, Johan bought Twitter way back here at 45.90. It's 54.18. It's up 2.85% just today, and I would imagine this thing is up 15%. Wow. Nice, Johan. Shopify, Kamal. This is how good Kamal is. He buys the low of the day, not a penny off, absolutely the low. He bought at 10.81 back on the 27th. It's 12.36. It's up 7.98. It's up 8% just today. Up 12.65%. Wow. Congratulations, Kamal. Proud of you, bud. The Qs, this is Frank. Frank bought Qs at 284.60, 328.27, up 1.18% today, just today. Very nice. CRM, another Kamal and Frank collaboration, buying at 216.80. It's 234.59, up 2.68 just today, and lovely, beautiful, profitable trade. JIMA, this is Karen. Karen bought it at 45.60. It's currently 61.68. It's down 1.78% today, but still nicely up on the trade. DKNG, another beautiful trade from Kamal at 53.04. It's 59.48. It's up 8.88% just today. Congratulations. Silver. Okay, so Frank still has a half a position in silver. Pat has a half position in silver, Pat has a full position in silver, and Yas. So it's back to the entry point, which is the good news for Pat and Yas. Bad news, and Frank. Bad news is that it was up much, much higher yesterday and then came all the way back down. I don't know if Frank, Pat, and Yas took some profits on the way up, but I hope so, obviously. Fastly. Kamal bought Fastly at 80. Oh no, sorry. This is Johan bought at 86.80. It's 106.34. Kamal bought intraday today. Oh, that was today, right, Kamal? Yeah, at 105.80. So it's 106.34. So it is up a little bit still for Kamal. But nice trade, Johan. Nice intraday trade, Kamal. CHKP. David bought CHKP at 129.48. It's currently 135.23, up 1.88%. Up on the day, up on the trade. Ah, boy. So, quad. Bought AMC yesterday, I think, at $13. It's down 39.77%. Gary also bought the puts, but he still took a small loss, which is unreal. I just hope, Quad, that you were able to get out at the open when your emergency stop hit, and I hope that I hope wherever you trade did not allow you to buy too many shares. But I'm sorry to hear that. But that's especially on the crazy stock like this. Yep. Teladoc. Frank bought Teladoc back here at 182. It's 268, up another 1.48%. He did sell 90% of his shares a couple days ago, but great trade there, Frank. INAQ. Frank bought INAQ at 15.90 at 17.26, up 2.74%. Up on the day, up on the trade. ATSG. Johan bought ATSG at 25.93. It's 26.41 today. Nice trade, Johan. Yeah, I knew I kind of liked that trade. Way to go, Johan. UUP, this is Jatin. Jatin had a nice trade on the dollar. He called it perfectly. Bought it at 24.42. It's at 24.59. That's a big move for a currency on the dollar. So very nice. Budweiser, the most liquid stock around. Frank bought at 62.81 at 65.75, up 2.93%. Excellent, Frank. PSNL, Johnson bought PNSL at 38.44. It's 42.71, up over 5% today and nicely up on the trade. Solly, Ramble Ron bought Solly back at $9. It's 10.96, up 4.68% just today. NVAX is the big... Oh, do I still have you in this, Frank? For some reason, I took your name off. But I know you bought down here at like 133, and now it's like 265, so almost a double. But I'm not sure. You have to remind me on this. But what a trade Frank had. Unreal. Roku. Jatson bought Roku yesterday at 402 even. It's 416.92. So it is up a little bit today, but it is nicely up on the trade. ITB. Jatson bought ITB at 59.87. It's at 60.74, up a little bit today, so that's nice. PKI. Steve, Frank, and Morgs bought PKI at 152.35. Looks like it was up strong earlier in the day, but it reversed. It was taken with a 520 cross. Steve just mentioned he will be getting out of this today at the end of the day because we have earnings at the end after the market closes. FVRR. Johnson sold FVRR February 19th. 190, 160 put spreads, which means it has to stay above 190 in order for Johnson to make the money by February 15th. But it's well above there now, and it's nicely up today, so that's looking good for him. And lastly, NIO. Johnson bought NIO at $55, and then Gary sold NIO February 5th, 55s. Oh, that's right. So it has to close by Friday above 55. So anyway, nice trading, everybody. Everything looks really good. Frank sold SLV at the open. Okay, I'm glad to hear that, Frank. Okay. Nike has a 1050 EMA crossover here. Let me write that down. Ryan says AMC and GME are a great lesson in put skew. Absolutely. Steve says Pins has a slight 520. So I'll write that one down as well. Thank you, Steve. Frank says 10% trailer on NVAX. Okay. I'm kind of guessing where you bought it. I know you bought it right around here, but maybe at the end of the day you can let me know exactly where you bought it. So I'm going to put here Frank 10% trailer. Okay. Mountain. All right. It's okay. I mean, it's a Kamal trade, right? It's a Kamal kind of trade, but it is a V2, but me personally, Kamal, I don't like the gap right here. All right, so listen, before we start looking at potential end-of-day trades, and it looks like there's a bunch of them here, just want to talk about trader psychology, maybe some good trading words of wisdom first. I've talked about Thomas Paine's post before many times. Of course, Thomas is at Thomas Paine at Trader T Paine on Twitter. Just a great channel. You should go follow him. He is the gentleman that was a scientist and he switched careers and became a trader. And he, took the scientific method of science and brought it into trading. And he does great things with trader psychology. Whenever I see a post, I'm always excited to read it. So let's see what Thomas has to say. For stock traders, information itself isn't always good enough. The most important thing is knowing what other people think about the information. And the only way to know that is to follow price action. Price action is the only truth. And let me tell you something. I founded a public company. We traded on the stock exchange. And I think I've mentioned this before. I knew inside information. I couldn't trade it, but I was always surprised at how the stock reacted. I literally knew everything that was going on and I still couldn't call it right. I mean, think about that, right? So, he's right. Information itself isn't always good enough. The most important thing is to know what other people think about the information and how they react to the information. And the only way you can do that is by following price action. Price action is the only truth. This reminds me in an account that I was managing, I don't know, it was a year ago, 2 years ago. The gentleman said, I want to buy Amazon right before earnings. I said, I wouldn't do that. He goes, I think they're going to have a good quarter. And so, it's his money. I said, okay, we'll buy it. And I was really concerned for him. And then earnings came out and they blew away earnings. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. And what did I see after hours? It was down $110. So you never quite know, right? So that's why this is a very good sentence. Price action is the only truth. Opinions, people have all these opinions about what it's going to do. They can have them, they can keep them. But that's why I trade price action. But thank you, Thomas. And again, he's at Thomas Paine at Trader T Paine over on Twitter. Great post by Thomas. 135. Okay. Got it, Frank. Nice round number. All right, let me just take a quick look-see over here at my current positions before we get into new ones. Yeah, it did peg the 50-day. Nice day on MasterCard for me. I am going to sell half of this at the close. SPY has come off of its high. Of course, I'll be buying this again at the close. USO, don't have to worry about. Zoom, doing really well. I'm watching Zoom to see whether or not it rejects this 50-day moving average. If it does reject it, I will go ahead and sell half. If it holds above, I'll just keep it all. And then Verizon and Apple are just day trades. let me add some of these over here. So we have NVIDIA, Goldman Sachs, Nike, and pins. All right. Look at GameStop, everybody. Down 56.58% just today. What a bunch of drama this was. It's like I was telling you, when there's forced buying, it's usually a good time to short. I tried shorting this. Very difficult to get shares. Very difficult to get shares, but wow, unreal. The amount of money that was made and lost in this move's unreal. All right, let's get rid of that and look at a legit stock. Verizon, not bad. Under 30, over 30. Slight V1, under the negative third, over the negative third. It did reject the 5-day, which I'm not thrilled about. Let me get rid of that day trade on there. Let's look over on the weekly. Anything interesting on the weekly? Not really. Big, huge bar previous. Hasn't bounced in any support on the weekly, so I think I'm going to pass on Verizon. Dollar General has an under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third with a V2. Pretty good. Not a ton of volume. Rejected the 5-day also. Has the 200-day above it. That's concerning. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly looks better because we have the bounce at the 50-week moving average. On the monthly, we're holding the 1 ATR channel on the month. So I would like Dollar General better because on the multiple time frames, you see some support on multiple time frames. 1 ATR channel on the monthly, 50-week moving average on the weekly, and then the daily, the under 30, over 30. This is coming from a lower low. I don't like the 200-day above, so I'm going to let that one go as well. Pfizer. Well. We had earnings. It looks a lot worse than it is. It's only down 2.8%, but by looking at this, you might think this is a double bottom with the bullish divergence because you have this low here with very deep MACD bars. Now you're lower with fewer MACD bars, but it's not really true because you have to go from this low. This low has this deep of red bars. This low now is lower and actually lower than these MACD bars. So it's not a convergence. It's not a divergence. It's a convergence. So, if we were lower and closer to the 30 RSI in that negative third ATR channel, I may take a crack at it. But as it is here right now, it's right back about where it should, where I would expect it to be before it heads back down. We went down, we reversed up 50% with the Fibonacci number. If I was really trading this, wanted to trade this, I'd go to a smaller time frame at this level on the daily and look for a short. So I think I'm going to pass on Pfizer. Pod. Looks like a 520 crossover. Don't know how that back tests, but there's only 151,000 shares traded. KL. False breakout to the downside. That's a little bit of a Kamal trade there. Yeah, for me, no. GLW, I don't see anything on GLW. IGM, nice big gap up there, but way too high for me to buy. Right up here at the second ATR channel, right up here at previous resistance, and a big old gap. I don't like that. LOPE, nice couple day move up. We came from a lower low. I would expect this to run into some issues right around here, so I'm going to pass on that. MKC, V2, lower low V2. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, see the big bar previous just makes me completely uninterested. FNV, sideways motion. That one's probably going to move pretty strong one way or the other. I just don't know which way. Run. No. UAL V2 tested the 100 here and here, up 2%. Weekly is in the value zone. Like, it's decent. Looks like at the end of the day we'll have more volume, but I think I'll pass on that as well. VGR, that's strong. It's strong, but it's a little chasey. See, that's what I was talking about. This is a nice confluence of indicators: under 50, over 50, under the 50 SMA, over the 50 SMA, V2, but now it's a little chasey. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly is held to 200-day moving average. Tested it to the downside, which is good. 732,000 shares traded. Yeah, that one's probably the best one I've seen so far. Bill, just too high. UAA, 520 crossover. I don't know how that back test. Home Depot, V2. Rejection of the 50 RSI, however. So I don't think I would touch that one. Domino's Pizza, that's an ugly bar. Reversal bar. We're still above yesterday's open, but we're below yesterday's close, but we're below today's open. Goldman Sachs. All right, let me actually hold on one sec. Let me go take care of something that always happens right here. Apologize. Give me a second. Okay, so this is Goldman Sachs, 290, 279.74, 299.84. So it is not quite, but I'll do some math on it so I know in case it does. So I'm just taking my maximum allowed loss dividing by the 2 ATR. So that's Goldman Sachs. All right. What else do we have? We have NVIDIA. This does have a 520 crossover, 531.74 compared to 531.40. I actually like that one better. Nike had a 1050 crossover, if I'm correct. Let's see, the 10 is 137.18, the 50 is 137.13, so that is also legitimate. And then the last one was Pins with a 520 crossover. This one does have earnings on the 24th, so be aware of that. So what I'm going to do, get rid of Domino's Pizza there. Move this over here. Get rid of Pfizer. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to take Goldman Sachs over here, NVIDIA over here, Nike over here, pins over here. And let's go through them a little bit more and kind of analyze on multiple time frames. So Goldman Sachs, obviously it's had a big move. It did go, it looks like we went under 50, over 50, which is good. We're at a 60 RSI level, so not too extended. If we look over on the weekly, we have the fourth ATR channel above us. From the move down to here, we are not quite halfway, but it seems a little chasey. If I were to buy this one, I would buy half a position for sure. NVIDIA, it's more tame. It's right in the value zone, 531.99, 531.48. So that is a decent location. On the weekly, it's moving sideways, so I do like that one better. It's not too extended. If it were extended and I were going to buy it, I would buy a half a position, but this is really not very extended. Under 50, over 50. MACD's getting close to crossing. So I like NVIDIA better. Nike, 317.17. 137.18, 137.13. So this one's going to be close. Let's look over on the weekly. On the weekly, we have the 1 ATR channel above, so I don't like that one as much. And then pins has earnings on the 4th, so only a couple days. It's pretty close to the 1 ATR channel, and on the weekly, it's okay. I like NVIDIA the best here, actually, and I think I'll take a full position because I do like the weekly. It has a lot of move to the upside, and it's not extended, and it has some room to move up there as well. So let me take care of something. All right, so MasterCard, I am going to sell half of my MasterCard right now, as a matter of fact. And just take that off. That was a really good trade. All right, so MasterCard is gone. Half there. Half there. SPY is already in the system to buy. Zoom, ooh, that's going to be close on that 50. So that 50 is 390.30. I'm going to have to make a little note for myself so I can find it quickly. 390.30 is the 50-day moving average. Oh, now it's 32. Yeah, that's going to move around a little bit. All right, I'm going to have to watch that one. If it rejects the 50, I will sell half. But right now, I do like NVIDIA the best. I think I looked at VRM. Yep, it does have a 520 crossover for sure. Not thrilled about this bar though, Morgs, this reversal bar. Could go straight on up tomorrow. Probably a lot's going to have to do with Amazon and its earnings, probably the whole market and Google. So I'm going to be a little cautious. But yes, you're right. It does have a 520. Steve says I exited for a 0.39% loss. Good. I exited my SPY puts. Okay. Good discipline, Steve. Not sure if you looked at AMD already. It's not bad. I mean, yesterday, I think I would have been more interested with the V1 and the close back above the 200-day, but I don't think I'd chase it here at 46 RSI coming from a lower low. Kamal says, I'm going to skip mountain. Oh, yeah. A lot of volume there today. Interesting. Home Depot, V2 and bounce off 50. Yeah, it is a V2, but there's no sideways motion. Down, lower high, washed out this low. Here's a V2 and the 50. You are correct, but it's 48.83 on the RSI, meaning it was already 50 RSI earlier and it already rejected it. That's what I don't like about it. VLDR. It's okay. It's okay, but I mean, we came straight down, Gary, and then just had the V1, V2. It would be better if we had sideways motion. It did wash out this previous low, so that is good, right? So it gives a few more bonus points to this V2, and we rejected the -1 ATR channel, and we rejected the 50. But keep in mind, on my chart, it says earnings are in 2 days as well. Frank says, please, please, please split Amazon. I will be a buyer. Okay, I will put the word in for you, Frank. Steve says, I'm long NVIDIA here at 541 with the 520 and 1030. Oh, it has a 1030 EMA cross also. Yeah, NVIDIA is my favorite as well. Sunny, love that name. Sunny Ellis, could you please look at DocuSign? It's a V2, but there's a gap here. I don't like the V2. We're hanging right at the 50 RSI. So that 50 RSI is resistance. I mean, I wouldn't buy it, me personally, here, but that's kind of my take on it. Pat says, DG, how you doing, Pat? Good to see you. Still waiting now for some sideways motion. Yeah, I would much rather buy this at this level under the 200 over the 250 down here. Or if we could get above the 200. Right now, I just feel like you're in purgatory between the two, and you came from a lower low, and you already sold off quite a bit near the high. Look at that, Kamal. Your Shopify making a high on the day. Woo! That's sweet. Okay, let me get back to business. And NVIDIA is really the one I like best today too. Just everything considering, looking at all the time frames. We bounced off the third ATR channel on the monthly. On the weekly, we're right in the value zone. You know NVIDIA is going to move. Something is going to move strong. It's either going to move to the upside, the downside, I don't know. But the trigger is the 520 crossover. So let me... There is an 8-cent spread on NVIDIA, just so everyone's aware. Okay, so I sold half of my MasterCard here with this big move up. Zoom is still over the 50, so in that case, I will hold it, but I have to watch this one at the end. And then I'm just waiting for NVIDIA, waiting till the end of the day. right, so I have to keep my eye on Zoom. Looking okay as is. But if it loses that 50, I sell half. NVIDIA I like. Let's see what it looks like intraday. Ooh. Well, that's just how it goes sometimes. If it would come back in the value zone, I'd feel a lot better. But nonetheless, yeah. It's not too extended, so I will buy a full position. All right, we've got 3 minutes to go. So I'm going to go ahead and buy NVIDIA now as well because I'm going to have to watch Zoom more carefully. Okay. $3.90.33. So I've got about $1 cushion between there and the 50. Whew, tight on this one. I think it's going to hold. Okay. So I think I'm good. And then, of course, buying the SPY at the close. And then we'll see what happens with Amazon. Oh, let's play the game. Amazon and Alphabet. Do they beat or do they miss? And do the stocks go up or down? Okay, so let me take a quick look. See where I got filled on everything. All right, SPY. I got filled at 381.55. NVIDIA, I got filled at 542.17. So what's everybody's predictions on Amazon and Alphabet? Do they beat? Do they miss? And what does the stock do? It's your favorite game show. I know it's mine. All right, so overnight SPY trade, I got filled here at 381.55. By the way, I think they're both going to... No, I think Amazon's going to beat. I think Google's going to miss. I think Amazon's up, Google's down. I didn't put a lot of thought into that. And then NVIDIA got filled here at 542.17. Okay, so listen, if you have any new entries, exits for me today, please let me know. Put them in the chat. If you see any news on Amazon or Alphabet, would you put it in the chat? Let me know. Before we get to all that, just want to remind everybody, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time. I have a 15-hour course. I think it's a really good course. I think you're going to be a better trader if you take this course with me and learn from me one-on-one. I teach you everything I've learned over my last 25 years from my personal experience, everything from my teachers and mentors. So if you are interested, all you have to do is send me an email. Email's in the description of this video, or you can send me a message on Twitter. I'll reply. I'll say, let's set up a Skype call. Skype call is for me just to know more about you and your trading and your goals and your challenges. Then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And then when we're done, you can think about it. And in the future, if you decide you want to do it, just let me know. And real quick, by the way, I am increasing the price of the course February 16th to $1,750. Now it's $1,000. So if you have been on the fence about taking it, this is really the time to do it. It just increased the price just because I have so many students that I'm just running out of time. So it's a supply and demand kind of situation. So I hope you understand. But I will honor the $1,000 price up until February 16th. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Steve, I know Steve bought, where did Steve buy? Okay, Steve bought NVIDIA at, okay, so I'm just going to put him up here. Steve 541.49. $520 and 1030 EMA cross. Okay, we got that taken care of. Steve is also long pins. At $73.97. $520. Okay, good luck with that, Steve. Pat says, DG, still waiting now for some sideways motion. Lova says, Greg likes NVIDIA, Steve likes NVIDIA. There's a confluence of two indicators. Yeah, we'll see. I'll tell you what, I always feel better when Steve picks the one I'm picking as well. And Nike. Steve bought Nike at $139.59. $10.50 EMA. Okay, good luck on those, Steve. Kamal says, nice one. Paxton Hall, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. I don't know what this symbol is for Boyd Gaming, Paxton. So maybe if you could tell me, I will take a look. But good seeing you, buddy. Yeah, just give me the stock symbol for Boyd Gaming. Prediction, both beat, both go down. Ah, interesting. Okay. Yes. In with AMD. And yes, I got your email, buddy. Sorry, yesterday I was so tired, I couldn't even think about calling you. But I will call you one day and we'll chat about it. By the way, I slept really well last night. I took a bath. I had some tea. I was so tired yesterday that I got into bed and I was nervous. I was like, man, I better be able to sleep, because if I'm not going to be worth anything tomorrow. But I had a great night's sleep. So thank you for all your advice. Exited SLV with profit. What a reversal. Okay. So that's yes. So I still have Pat in SLV. Is that correct, Pat? Sunny says, thank you for your help. Have a beautiful day. You too, Sunny. Thank you. Kamal is out of Shopify, 0.5%. All right. So how am I going to do this? Sold 50%. I am glad to hear that, bud. I would hate to give all that back. CRM out of 1/6. I have to do the math on that. Okay. Sold 1/6. That's what I'm doing. Amazon. Beat, rise. Okay, that's a prediction or that's what happened? David's in NVIDIA. Good luck with that, David. And out of Checkpoint. You had a good trade on Checkpoint. Nice trade, bud. Kamal says, Google down, Amazon, no movement by end of close tomorrow. Oh, that's interesting. Last time you said that, Kamal, if I remember correctly, you were correct. And that's almost exactly what it did. Johnson, half of half on MA. All right. Well, we know what that means. That means a quarter left, right? Nice trade there, Johnson. Gary, out of AMC puts. Okay. I hope Quad got out of that, everyone. I hope he got out of the morning. I really do. In NVIDIA. Light. Okay. $80.75s. Okay. Expiring February 26th. All right. Good luck with that. Nice trade, Kamal, with Shop. I agree. Thanks, David. Still have the other one. I'm thinking of bleeding 50% trailer in Frank style. Ethereum over 1,500 today, all-time high. Wow. Amazon down after hours. Kamal, did they beat? Did they beat? Is it a situation where you're down on a beat? Frank is half position in Nike. Oh yeah, Frank's always liked Nike. If you do this long enough, you kind of know people's favorite stocks. Frank 1/2. Sold 90% of PKI. Okay. I like it. 10%. trailer for Frank. Kamal says Google up after hours. Amazon beats EPS and beats sales estimate. Frank says, all right, Kamal. Now Amazon up after hours. Kamal, what are you doing with Tesla? BYD. Not bad. It has a 520. It has a 520 crossover. Paxton, although I don't know if a 520 crossover does backtest positively. Let's look over on the weekly. We had that big week down. We're halfway. It's okay. I don't think I would like stopped in my tracks if I was looking at this to buy it though, especially a stock like Boyd Gaming. Nothing against Boyd Gaming, but I mean, it has a crossover, which is positive. I just don't know if that crossover actually backtests correctly. Gary says, I did not take any Tesla trade. I am short in spirit. All right, Kamal, short in spirit. I'm not writing that down. Yes, it's good to hear about your sleep. Thank you. Frank says, so many Amazon trucks coming and going. I can't imagine they would miss. Amazon 34.78 after hours, up. David says, happy rest of the day and all. Thank you, David. Yes, says, good that you got my email. Wasn't sure if it went through. No problem whenever you get a chance. Sounds good. Frank says, I'm sure Google already knows what I'm thinking before I say it. Tesla. $8.40. Was that today or was that yesterday? I don't think it got to 8.40 today. Maybe that was yesterday. I'm not sure. Okay. In NVIDIA. All right. So you're in NVIDIA also. Okay. So I'll just put you down there. Johnson says, could you add me for NVIDIA as well? Yes, I will. Oh. Okay, got that taken care of there, Johnson. What did I do with that? Bob says Alphabet earnings per share 22.30 beats 15.90. Sales 56.9 beat 53.1. Trader Joe Amazon estimate 7.04, actual 14.09. Wowzers. All right, well, let's see what's going on then. Google up 132 points. Oh my gosh. Wow. Amazon down. Interesting. Yeah, Amazon's down $30 now. Okay, what are the Qs doing after hours? Have to be up, right? 66 cents. What is VIX doing up after hours? About flat. Zoom down $1. Nvidia down 16 cents. What's Apple doing? Down. Tale of two cities here. And good seeing you, Trader Joe. Thank you for that info. So Google's at 2050. So that would place it all right. That places it right about here on the monthly, so this is deceiving. So on the daily, that would place it right there. I would say that's a significant gap. So tomorrow, from an RSI perspective, we would be at 72 RSI. Now we're at 2034. So we've lost 16 bucks already. Gary says, thanks, Greg. Glad you got some sleep. Have a good day, everyone. You too, Gary. And thanks for coming, bud. All right, before I let you go, just want to remind everybody, if we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. So let's all try to do this. I just have one more requirement. Let's try to do one act of kindness daily for a human and one act of kindness daily for an animal as well. It's 2 for the price of 1, and it's going to make both the human and the animal feel good, and it's going to make you feel good, and it's just good. So let's all try to do that, can we? So, all right. Anybody have any other questions? If not, I'm going to go put my hiking shoes on and go out for a little hiker. Now Google's 234, same. SPY's up 60 cents. That's good. Lovis says, would like to hear your thoughts about trading on margin, paying money on money invested. Well, yeah. I mean, look, if you're trading on margin and the stock goes up, you're doing really well because you could make a lot more to the upside than you're paying in interest. However, if it doesn't do anything, then you are losing money. If the price doesn't move, you're losing money because you're paying interest. But I think the most dangerous part about trading on margin is that you can buy twice as many shares as you have money for, which will cost you a lot in interest. But the more important part is that it can really get you in trouble if the stock goes down significantly. If the stock goes down 25%, you've lost 50% because you own twice as many shares. Then you'll get a margin call and they'll say, Lava, we need this much money because you're at your limit threshold at 50% equity. And if you don't have the money, then they will just dump it. So my recommendation would not to be trade on margin. I would much rather see people just buying puts and calls where there's a defined risk and that's all they can lose. So those are my thoughts, Lava. I would not use margin. You know, Bezos stepping down as CEO. Really? Wow, I didn't see that coming. Huh. Interesting. I hope he can afford to retire. Oof, I don't know. Cost of living and everything. He's probably just walking a tightrope on being able to do it. All right, everybody. That's it for today. Thank you for coming. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Like I said, please go out and try to do something nice for somebody, for an animal and for a human. And be good, be safe. And tomorrow's Wednesday, so hopefully we'll see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Take care, and thanks again for coming. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.